What is up, my Squirtleites? It is I, your king. Welcome back to more Let's Play Pokemon Black and White 2. In the last episode, we managed to do some training over at the trainer's school, as well as take part in a multi-battle against the former leaders of the Striaton Gym, Crest Chili and Silent. In today's episode, we are heading off to the Dreamyard, the home of, well, lots and lots of Psychic Pokemon. And as soon as we enter, would you look at that? Hello there. Okay, so it looks like we got a legendary Pokemon here in this area somewhere, and we're going to need to try and track it down. Now, I said in the last episode I was going to get Nibbles out of the PC because Nibbles is my cut bitch, and we are going to be using Nibbles to make our way through the Dreamyard. Although, before I actually activate the dowsing machine, I probably should actually use a Max Repel as we make our way through. Not the Moonstone. Max Repel. I'm actually getting low on Max Repels. It's kind of crazy to think about. Good thing I have all of the money in the frickin' world as I head through this area. Now, I'm going to grab a bunch of items as we go, but I do also want to go over some of the new Pokemon that can be gotten in here, just very briefly, because there are a couple. Jigglypuff can finally be found in this area, which it wasn't available before. And then the other one is actually Hypno, but Hypno can only be found in swarms, believe it or not. So, head through the gate. Latios flies back the other way. Okay, I wonder if we can stop this thing somehow. We head back through here. There it goes again. Oh my gosh, this thing is so hard to track down. Okay, well, eventually we're going to be able to pin it down somewhere. So now we can head back up through... Can we go back up through? Yeah, we can. Okay, there's an item back here. And I want to grab that. Another Moonstone, as if I need it. I mean, you are allowed to catch Jigglypuff here. So it does kind of make sense. Also, I think this might be an Audino here. It was not, so I ran. Okay, I want to, like, get through the rest of it. I think I have to go through the basement to get through the rest, so looks like we're going to be battling some trainers as we head through here, so let's do this thing. There's a number of trainers down here in the lower level as we go, so just watch out for them. I still have Zoroark with me because a lot of these are psychic trainers, and I would very much like to take advantage of that fact. Makes them a lot easier to deal with. Now, they aren't all pack and psychic types. They do have a little bit of discrepancy here and there, so I have to be prepared for that. But first guy's going to throw Hypno at us, and that's not going to be a big deal. In fact, this entire fight is going to be really easy. And oh my gosh, look at all I have is a Patrat to deal with you with. I am not going to win this. Just kidding. That's actually got to be one of the funniest illusions that we've had with Zoroark up to this point. Go, Nibbles, go! My level 3 Patrat. And then next up is Dusclops, who is actually very, very defensive. To the point where I wouldn't actually be surprised if it does tank this, but my Zoroark is so powerful at this point that it's probably still not going to even manage that. Yeah, lots of Psychics in this area. There's only one trainer that's packing like 2 Pokemon that I'm not going to be able to do too much about with my Zoroark. We'll see. I don't know. But the rest should be very, very simple. So you're done. We got the Scientist here. I'm going to grab this HP up. There's a few items down here as well, obviously. I know I still need to get the hidden item that is right here, which I do believe is a Psychic Gem. There's also an Evolutionary Stone down here, as well as a single Vitamin. But first, we got this Ghastly. Let's take care of this. And then the other one, which is Skuntank. And that one, I think I actually ended up putting my Flygon in the PC. So technically, that would have been the best option here. But I don't think I can actually make use of that. So I'm just going to have to deal. So, all right. Here goes the first one. Skuntank. Let's see. You know, I still got my Flygon. We're good. Never mind. Who did I put in the PC? Oh, it was Jack. That's right. Well, it makes sense because I'm going here into a predominant psychic area. I don't want my fighting type in here. And also lots of ghost types too, so it just doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, yeah, I know the steel typing offsets that weakness to psychic, but still not the most ideal Pokemon to bring into this area. There we go. All right, that should push Freen to level 71, I think. Yeah, that's what I like to see. Man, with all of the big fights we still have left and all the rare candies I've been stocking up, we're going to have a really powerful team by the time this is all said and done. Yeah, because I can't get to that grass patch from here. I'm going to have to go a different way. Let's fight you now. Did you just fake me out? Rude. There we go. Why are you running away from me? I want to beat up your Chingling. Don't take that out of context. Please, that sounded so much worse than I meant for it to be. I never thought of Chingling as a euphemism until I made that joke just now. That was dumb. All right, Dark Pulse. And then I think we should be able to one-shot his other Pokemon as well. Or her other Pokemon. Sorry, this is a lady here. Alessia. My bad. I'm just so used to psychics having, like, fuck my shit up haircuts that I don't really, like, associate them with gender at all. They just all have bad hair. Regardless of gender. There we go. Level 73. Holy crap, Zoroark. You are going... I mean, Nibbles, you are absolutely overpowered right now. I think I'll keep Zoroark in the front for this fight just for the first Pokemon. And actually, we are about to encounter a Pokemon that I haven't encountered yet in my Pokedex, so that's pretty cool. I was looking through, when I was talking about all the Pokemon I'm still missing from the scene decks of a number of episodes ago. I was going over all the ones that were still missing, and Clang was actually the only one in this line I still hadn't yet seen. I'd seen Clink and I'd seen Kling Clang, but not this one. So, figured that was kind of funny, but I'm still going to commit to not doing that because, again, unless I use cheats, there's no way I can get my hands on a Tepig and then evolve it in this game, so I'm not even going to bother with that. Porygon, though, this thing is a normal type, which means, well, I guess I might as well actually just stick with it. Never mind, I don't really have a better option here. So, probably going to take 2 shots to take this thing out, but Porygon's not too powerful, so it'll be fine. It's only got a base stat total of like 395. Yeah, still went down in 1 shot. My Zoroark is so strong right now. So strong. Okay. I'm happy with that. Let's, let me do some item swapping here. I'm going to move this to Johanna, actually. Wait. Hold on a second. I didn't have my lucky egg on Zoroark that entire... I had it on Kamina. I didn't even realize that. Oh, man, that's a lot of wasted experience. I didn't even realize that the entire time. Oh my gosh, I feel stupid. What is wrong with me? No, that was so obvious. I should have known. I probably could have been level 74 by now. All right, we're going to get a Dawnstone. That's all right. I'm not going to beat myself up over it, but it is dumb. No, actually. I cannot get into that. Okay, so this is obviously connected to... Oh, here we go. We have another path up this way. Well, let's follow it and see where it leads. Oh, literally just... Oh, here we go. Okay, yes, into another part of the area. Got it. That makes sense. All right, so there's a few trainers here on the outside portion as well. None of them are really too difficult to deal with. This first kid is going to be throwing a couple grass types at us, which was actually not the reason I switched to Johanna. I just did it because he is tied for the lowest level, and I know I'm going to be using Kamina a lot later. Let's use Bug Buzz here, which I really haven't used since Johanna learned it. I mean, granted, Johanna learned it at this level, so I haven't used Johanna much at all. So, you know, that kind of tracks. But then we got Tangrowth, and I should still be able to one-shot it with Bug Buzz, I would assume. I don't think I need to go dip all the way into my Heat Wave bag here. Let's find out. Yep, there we go. If it was a physical attack, I'd have been a little more worried, but we got it. Okay. 2 more trainers left in this area. Let's keep going. Is there an item up here? There is. It's connected to this thing. So this is all that's in this area. A PP up. We'll take that. I can't get into the rest of this area, so back down I go, I think. Nope, never mind. We can head over here. What's up, kid? Now, this is going to be an interesting fight because he's got one really weak Pokemon and one really, really, really powerful Pokemon. Can you guess what the really powerful Pokemon's going to be? I bet you can't. Okay. Slakoth is first. Obviously, Slakoth is nothing to worry about in the slightest. I'm just going to Heat Wave my way through this fight. I'm not even going to bother like running a Quiver Dance or anything because while, yes, Slaking is an extremely powerful Pokemon with a total base stat of 670, can only attack every other turn, and almost all of its defenses are built into physical defenses. Special defense is actually its worst stat. Now, it still has a really high HP stat, so that does not mean it's going to be a one-shot, but we'll see. And indeed, it still is. Well, it was a critical hit, so I guess that wasn't really the best example, but we still got it. There we go. Actually worked out very, very easily. Now we can continue over here, and where all this connects down. Oh, no! I need strength to be able to get out of here, right? Well, luckily, it's not actually required. I can just finish the entire Dreamyard and not even bother connecting the entire paths. We'll just leave because I'm not going to be coming back here. But yeah, technically, you do need that rock if you want to access this lower area without having to go through the entire underground section. So there is that, but it's not really a huge deal. All right, Igglybuff is first. Obviously, that's not a threat, but the next Pokemon actually might be surviving my Heat Waves. We will see. And that next Pokemon is Lickilicky, also at level 63. Pretty decently strong Pokemon. I mean, it's got a base stat total of 515. It's got more defenses than offenses and very high HP, but none of its stats are, like, honestly super impressive, so I'm not too worried about it. Like I said, it was going to survive one, and I had a feeling that it would, but I think we're good. And there's the Flame Body anyway to negate any effectiveness it was going to possibly have after the fact. Now, I know for a fact Bug Buzz will hit because Heat Wave is only 90% accurate, so we'll just finish it off with that. And that's the last trainer here in the garden, in the Dreamyard. Yeah, there we go. So now we still have a couple things left to do here in the Dreamyard. There's a Reaper Cloth for evolving Dusclops into Dusknoir. Much like the Protector, the Electrolyzer, the Magmarizer, you need to be able to trade the Pokemon to make those evolutions happen, so keep that in mind. I'm going to grab an item here, get ourselves an iron, and then I am going to get myself a Psychic Gem. All right, that is the last of the items, except we still need to go after that dragon type that was flying around. So I'm going to head back to the main area. And okay, back through the cut tree we go. Now it is time to actually start making our way around this place. We're going to head on over here and up this walkway. I'm going to say no to another repel. Once again, the dragon is going to fly by, but we're going to ignore it for just a moment. I thought there was an item over here, but I guess that's not the case. But we can head on over this way and get ourselves, after it flies back one more time. Where are you going? We're going to get ourselves an Ultra Ball. Thank you very much. And now, I think the only thing left to get in this area, if I'm not mistaken, is this TM, which is TM85 Dream Eater. Base power of 100, I think. I could actually be wrong about that. Let me clarify before I say that with confidence. Yep, base power of 100, accuracy of 100, and it also is an HP stealing move, not unlike Giga Drain, but only works under the influence of sleep. So my apologies, that was actually the wrong way. I'm supposed to go up the stairs and then over to the dead end over this way. And there we go. All right. Well, hello there. And now it's finally going to attack. Okay, let's do this thing. This is Latios. Were this black 2, this would be Latios. This has the ability Levitate. It is a dragon and psychic type Pokemon, and I'm going to be banking on my Heat Waves to eventually cause a little bit of extra damage here. As we make our way through this fight, it has Psycho Shift, Charm, Psychic, and Heal Pulse. Now, Psychic allows it to pass off. It allows it to pass off status conditions over to the other Pokemon. Now, obviously, if I were to give it a burn, it would not be able to burn me back. And also, it can heal me occasionally, which I think is pretty darn cool. That's really nice. Now, Latios has Dragon Dance as opposed to Charm, but otherwise the 3 moves are the exact same, and luckily it cannot heal itself. Now, this is one I would very much like to actually catch, so I'm going to work on doing that as I slowly whittle this thing down, hoping that it's going to use Heal Pulses more, because this thing is going to hurt a lot. You know, honestly, I could just, like, tank all of its damage by Quiver Dancing a bunch. And then I could make this do a real tank. Or what I could do that's even easier is just switch to my Zoroark, and then it can't hurt me. I'm going to do one more Giga Drain. I don't want to Heat Wave it and cause a burn, actually, now that I think about it. So there we go. Okay, we got it into the red. I have no way of knowing if we're going to be able to... Like, I don't think I can cause a paralysis or anything of that nature here. So we're just going to start throwing Ultra Balls at this thing. And eventually, it's going to hopefully stay in the ball. Much like any other legendaries, if I'm not able to catch it here, I have to beat the Pokemon League again, and then it will reappear, and I can always come back. But otherwise, I would very much like to catch it here, because not only are you going to get yourself a really cool Dragon-type Pokemon, one of my favorite legendaries, as a matter of fact, but you're also going to get an item that is associated with it, that it drops upon being caught. So I'm going to throw a few more of these Ultra Balls at it, see if we can't get it to stay in the ball. please and thank you. I should mention the disparity between the two really quickly. So Latios and Latias are slightly different from each other. Latios is the offensive counterpart. It has a base special attack of 130 and a base speed of 110, while Latias has a base special attack of 110 and a base speed of 110, but its special defense is its highest stat at 130. Latias also has slightly better physical defense, and Latios has slightly better physical attack, but why would you ever want to use physical moves on this thing? Anyway, I mean, is its like other signature move? I actually don't know. Hold on, let me look this up. Is its other signature move from previously? No, it isn't. It is a special move. I was going to say, because it has a special move that it learns back at level 35 called Luster Purge, which is one of its signature moves. And I was going to check if that was actually a physical move. It's not. It's a special move. So, yeah, it's not even affected by that anyway. Yeah, Latios is slightly more offensive. Latias is more defensive. That's really all there is to it. Now I can just throw Ultra Balls and in peace because there is nothing that this Latias can do to hurt me from here on out. I just got to hope that it actually stays in the ball before it runs out of moves here. So I'm going to throw one more, and if this doesn't catch it, I will cut until this thing actually decides to stay in it. Hey, there we go. Finally was able to get it, and you can see by the fact that I caught it in a timer ball, it was a long-winded fight. I probably ended up throwing 40 Pokeballs at this thing before I finally caught it, but once you get to around that many turns, yeah, it does start to make it very hard to not catch. So there we go. Finally caught ourselves Latias, and the item it drops is called a Soul Dew. This is a really good held item that you're definitely going to want to give to them if you're planning on using them, because it raises both of their special stats by 50%, as if they weren't powerful enough. And again, as if you didn't want to focus heavily on using their special moves over their physical moves all day long. But there we go. Successful catch in the Dreamyard. Latias is ours, and personally my favorite of the two, as much as I do like Latios' design as well. I do like Latias just a little bit more for its positive and adorable energy, but there we go. All right, now that we have caught that, I think we can call this one an episode. I am going to switch Nibbles out for Paula here as we head in. Well, actually, I guess I could go with Jack again, just for the time being. I don't think I'm going to need Cut in the next area. Of course, I probably should make sure of that. No, I actually am going to need Cut in the next area, so never mind. I was going to swap Pokemon around, but I think we're actually going to keep it the same going into the next area, so I'm just going to heal up between episodes, and I'm going to call it here. Thank you all so much for watching, guys. In the next episode, we're going to head down Route 2 on our way to Accumula Town and go from there. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.